guys, welcome back to The Bright Side. Macy here, the Bright Side girl. Today I am doing a tag video. This is my first tag video and it's actually an original tag as far as I know. I tried to look up and see if there were any tags that were exactly the same and I didn't find any, so correct me if I'm wrong below in the comments, but as of right now, this is my own creation. So for today, we are doing the Author TBR Tag. What that means is the questions are all gonna revolve around books that I own and the authors that write them. It's kind of confusing, but you'll understand once I get into it. If you guys don't own, you know, like a million bajillion books that you haven't read, like me, then just use your Goodreads TBR, that's totally fine. I will not call it cheating at all. For the sake of this video, I am going to be talking about books that I physically own but have not read from certain authors. So let's get into the tag. This is going to be a relatively short tag because it was actually kind of hard to come up with some, and I hope that they're phrased like cleanly and correctly for you, but we're just going to get started. The first question is an author that you haven't read but you think you'll love. So what this means is I own something from this author and I have never read a single book from them, but I have a feeling that I'm gonna love it. So for this one, I picked Marie Lu. I only own Prodigy right now, but I am on the hunt looking for Legend for cheap. I haven't read anything by Marie Lu, but based on certain reviews and the descriptions of her stories, I really think she's gonna be an author that I'm really going to love. I have way more shocking authors that I haven't read any of their books, but for some reason their books are incredibly hard to find, so I don't actually own them, aka Victoria Schwab and Sarah J. Maas. But Marie Lu, I was able to find some things from her, and so I am really excited to dive into her, but I just haven't gotten around to it yet. And question number 2 is an Instalove author but you've only read one of their books. So what that means is you've read one of these authors' books and you can just tell that this is the author for you, that you just really enjoy their writing style or their characters, and you just get that instinctual feeling that you're gonna love most of their books. For me, that is Miss Holly Black. I have read The Coldest Girl in Cold Town, and I have a little like wrap up about it, I think from October or September of last year, and I loved it so much. And then again, just based on reviews and what people say and what she chooses to write about and her writing style, I just have one of those feelings that she is going to be one of my all-time favorite authors. This is Ironside. This is a modern fairy tale. It's part of a trilogy. Just one of the books I own from Holly Black. I also own the Black Cat trilogy as well. I can't wait to read Cruel Prince. I'm really excited to continue on. I just haven't yet, and I just feel like this is going to be instant love for me and Miss Holly Black. Next one is an author that you have never read but you own their books. I have multiple of these, so I'm gonna pick the one that I think I own the most of that I have never read a single book from them, and that would be Meg Cabot. She writes kind of like teeny boppery, chick lit, fun, contemporary type novels. Really excited to read The Princess Diaries. I have a lot of the collection and I have no idea if I'm gonna like it. I'm gonna listen to this one on audiobook probably this summer, but I haven't read anything by her, but I own at least like 8 or 9 of her books. Next up, an author that you have conflicting emotions about. So what this means is you've read one of their books and either you loved it and you're not sure you're gonna love anything else from them, or you hated it but you kind of think you might like something else from them. So kind of a conflict there. Hopefully that makes sense. So I'm going to use 2 as an example. So first one is Alexander Bracken. I listened to Passenger on audio, and for the first time in a long time, that was a mistake. I was new back into my audiobook game, and I didn't realize the telltale signs of a not so great narrator, at least for the story. I think that was why I didn't like this book. I'm really hoping that was the issue. I do plan on reading it physically to try and see if my mind has changed. It was just very slow and dull for me. But I have a feeling that I'm going to love The Darkest Minds, and I plan on reading that before the movie comes out this fall. So hopefully I'm correct on that, and that Miss Bracken is still an author that I will enjoy. The other author I have conflicting emotions about is Maggie Stiefvater. I have read Shiver and Linger in her Wolves of Mercy Falls series. I enjoyed them, but the longer I think about it, the more I realize I just don't care about the characters, and the only reason I even want to continue on is just that her endings are so good, and her writing is really pretty, but it was just very like emo in my opinion and overly emotional. But I feel like I'm going to love the Scorpio races and also the Raven Boys based on reviews and just certain things that I like, and hopefully the writing style has improved. Fantasy books all the way, because I really want to love Maggie Stiefvater, but right now I'm kind of in the I don't know camp. Next up is an author you own the most of but haven't read. So this means that I own, out of all the authors, I own more of this author's books that I haven't read that are on my TBR pile. So I might have another author that I own more books of as far as all the way around, but I've read a lot of them. So hopefully that makes sense. That for me is Rick Riordan. I have only read Percy Jackson, The Lightning Thief. I haven't read a single other Rick Riordan book. I may have read the second one. But I can't remember if I read it or if I just watched the movie, and I'm kind of counting it as like I haven't read it because I remember nothing about it. This was back in my super picky day, and I did enjoy my time, but I kind of felt like it just wasn't the series for me. This is way before BookTube and way before like my revamping of reading. So I own almost every Rick Riordan book. I have like 19 of them on my shelves that I haven't read, and I'm gonna vlog the whole experience, and it might take me like 2 years, but I'm gonna start over at the beginning, read all of them, and vlog, and hopefully like talk to you guys about it. I really think that I'm going to love the journey, and his books are so pretty. But yes, I own at least 19 of Rick Riordan's books that I have not read. And the last question is an author whose books are okay, but you keep reading more anyway. So for this one, I am choosing Gregory Maguire. I have read Wicked and I have read Mirror Mirror, and I liked them. I kind of enjoyed them. They're kind of tough to read. There are adult fairy tale retellings, but he has like some graphic content that I find unnecessary for the story, and it's just specific and strange, and then it is a little bit long-winded. It's written more old-fashioned. The books seem a lot older than they are, which is kind of cool and kind of not. But I don't know if I like him and that's why I just keep reading it and I just won't admit it to myself, or if the covers are just, let's be honest, the covers are just so beautiful that I don't want to say that I don't like his writing style or his books, and I just keep going anyway. I do have a goal to read like most of his books this year to kind of help determine my opinion. This is the third one in the Wicked series. But yeah, he's just kind of an author that I keep reading him even though I'm not like crazy into it. Next up is a new author that you're really excited to try. For me, that is Sasha Alsberg and Lindsay Cumming with Zenith. This came out earlier this year. It is a sci-fi fantasy book by Sasha Alsberg and Lindsay Cumming. Sasha Alsberg is a YouTuber that I really enjoy watching, so I'm excited to read it because I just like her as well as I like sci-fi, and I'm really interested to see how this is and go into it with a happy, less judgmental heart than maybe some other people. And so she's one new author that I am really excited about. Next up is an author whose books or series intimidate you. For me, that is Christopher Paolini. This is Inheritance, the third book in the Inheritance cycle. I have all four. I have Aragon, Eldest, Inheritance, and Brissinger, and I am just, these books are so big. They're all like, I don't know, between 600 and 900 pages, and I think I'm gonna do an audiobook because that will help. But sometimes I don't like being trapped in a story for that long, which makes no sense because I like being in series that technically are just as long if you like add all the books up together, if that makes sense. But this one is really intimidating. And then also, of course, Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin, because I love Game of Thrones, the show, so much. I will fangirl out about Game of Thrones with you in my theories and all that goodness. So I have to read the books. But again, they're like 6 to 1,000 pages. They're like Bible big. They have Bible pages and they intimidate me so much. I am planning on reading slower, so that will help with the intimidation factor, but yeah, I'm just a little scared. Okay, you guys, that was about, I don't know, 7 or so questions. I hope that you guys enjoyed this original tag video, and if you like it, I can do more as well as they come up in my brain. But for this video, if you guys want to do it, go ahead and do it. I am going to tag Miss Emma Reads a Lot and also Murphy Napier, sorry if I'm saying your name wrong, to do this video. So hopefully they will do it and we'll get this buzz going. But this is something I will probably do every year as my shelves change and things kind of get moved around. And thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys next time on the bright side. Bye!